What's up, guys? Wanted to make another video today about a part of my operation that I really don't have a lot of interest in going forward, but I inherited this little small side of my operation, and that is pine trees or timber, whatever you want to call it. We just got, or I just got 20 acres thinned for the second time. I'll turn you around and take a look at it. We just got these thinned. By the way, house is over there, farm's over there. We just got these thinned for the second time. Third time, sorry, third time. They thinned them one time when I was not alive, and then we thinned them about roughly 10 years ago, and then we just come in and took the last thinning before they're able to be clear cut. So I don't know, like I say, I don't like pine trees. Reason why is being a young farmer back in the late 70s, early 80s, the CRP program was paying more for landowners around here to plant pine trees than farmers could pay to rent the ground. So we have thousands and thousands of acres in my county that used to be good farm ground that is pine trees, and that's unfortunate, and it affects me because it's hard for me to find land around here, because land that was once farmed, you know, back in the 80s is grown up in trees. And actually where I'm standing right now, not really our best side of it. If you keep going down that way, there's actually some pretty nice trees. There's a lot of like these smaller 15-20 foot ones growing up, but overall we're happy with how it went. We got about 25% more than what we had expected, and because it's rained 36 inches since Thanksgiving, and the mills were needing wood, and apparently that is what brought it up. So we were very surprised on how good the price was we received. But the reason I'm starting over on this side is I'm going to show you up here on the end some that we got clear cut a couple years back, and what they look like. But I think it came out to be about $25 to $27 a tree. They cut one out of every 3 trees in this stand, just to kind of give them some more room in here. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm trying to remember what year these were planted, before I was born. Look at that tree right there. This tree, we'll walk over here to it. They're 37 years old. They're 37 years old. And look at this tree. And look at some of these other ones in here. Like, look at this tree. That's my hand, okay? You know, it's all right. But then come look at this tree that is the same age. Crazy. Twice as big. And it's like that all through here. They say, the guy that cut these for us, the timber company, said that these were kind of some older genetic trees. And we're gonna start walking this way. And he had recommended go ahead and clear cutting the whole tract, which I want to do. But these are actually, my mom has part ownership on some of this stand. She doesn't want to do it quite yet, but he had suggested going ahead and whacking it down while the price was good, and coming back in here and replanting it. But we are not interested in replanting it. Like I say, I don't like these things. By the time you plant them, you've got to burn them you got to pay to burn them three or four times. You have to pay property tax every year on these trees. over 40 years, you have to pay this property tax, which isn't a whole lot, but you got to add it in. Then you got to pay the harvester to come in. I'm ready to add up the numbers and see how much money this actually made versus farming it. I don't know, we'll see. It's just a long time to wait for a return, but if the return's good enough, I don't know. We're wanting to farm it. I'm wanting to farm it. This 20 acres is literally right here. The farm is right there. Like, look at this tree they took out. I mean, 40 years old, and it's just not. You look at some of these in here, and they're way better. I don't really understand the difference. We are kind of in a variable spot. They're a lot more consistent on the other side. But anyways, I'm wanting to farm this. Like, there you go. That's what you want. I mean, look at that. That is twice as big. They all look like that. It'd be great. I'm wanting to farm this ground. The problem with it is, if you were to clear cut this, if I was to let them clear cut this and come in here and get this to where it is farmable, you have to bring the root rake, you have to bring dozer in here. I mean, you have to pay somebody. Prices around here are going anywhere, I've heard, as low as $800 an acre up to $2,000 an acre to get it back to farmable. So if you want to do that, the money you made off the trees, if you're going to go back and farm it, you're burning through that just to get it back to being able to farm it. So yeah, that sucks. So we've gone this route. I'm going to show you this if I can get on over here. Now, I'm not trying to downgrade people that grow timber. There is land that's what it needs to have around here, is timber. But it's just a shame to see fields that, my grandparents farmed, that is flat and was good land planted into pine trees. It's hard to see, because that once it's planted, you got 40 years, until it'll even, and you just can't afford, you can't really afford to do it, to get the stumps off of it. All right, so this is 3 acres right here on the edge that we clear cut as kind of an experiment. I think it was 5 years ago. Okay, and here's what some farmers are doing around here. If they buy trees like this, or they have trees, is they're waiting for these stumps to rot out so that they can just come in here and it's a lot less work. See this stump here? It's rotten. So this makes it so much easier, time and fuel and all that per acre, to basically come through here and get this cleared out for farming. Our plan is to do that this year. We're trying to find somebody to go ahead and get it cleared. Once it's cleared, yes, it's going to need a heap of fertilizer. Matter of fact, it really needs to be sprayed. It's getting about too late. Some of these trees in here are actually getting fairly decent size. But anyways, it's yeah, this over here is 20 more acres that I could be farming. And yeah, I mean, I inherited this, so I'm definitely appreciative for it. And I'm just ready to see what, like, from start to finish, what it did, because there's a lot of people around here that are just, I mean, ripping land from guys to plant trees, and it's you know, they think, oh, you know, we'll plant these trees out here, and you know, mind you that in this area, cash rent's about $30 an acre. So I mean, I understand on the landowner's perspective, they're like, oh, 30 bucks an acre, that, you know, that sucks. Why not, you know, go plant trees on it, and in 40 years we'll cut and make, you know, make money. But then they don't realize having to pay for the seedlings, which there are some programs that you can get in where you basically get the seedlings for free. But you know, they think, you know, we'll just plant and wait 40 years and cut it, and they don't understand a lot of the expenses that actually goes into growing them. And then obviously you got, you know, timber tax. And I'm just ready to see how we did. I mean, how it worked. I'm not too up to date on forestry stuff. Did some in FFA in high school, but I'm pretty sure they took this for saw timber. And then we sold a few loads of pulpwood, and then some chip and saw, I believe is what it was called. Don't quote me on that one, but anyways, just wanted to kind of make an update on this. Like I say, I would much rather, I mean, I have pictures back when this was crops. My grandparents used to farm this back in like the mid-70s. This, and then you can see that field there. I farmed this field too. It was just a whole humongous field behind our house, and it was real pretty. And I think a couple pictures I had, they had a winter rye out here, and it was huge field of winter rye. But yeah, and then, you know, they'll fall down in here, fall in the field. If we have any kind of a windstorm, our power usually goes out because our neighbors have trees that'll fall, pine trees that'll fall on power lines. And pollen is horrible from these things this time of year. I mean, I've been sneezing for a week straight. You walk outside some days and it's a cloud of yellow dust, just, I mean, huge cloud just floating across, you know, open areas from where the wind has caught these trees and brought the pollen out. But yeah, didn't get any footage of them cutting it. They come in here, this video's kind of getting a little long, but they come in here with the cutter. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it basically walks up to the tree, cuts it and grabs it at the same time, and then like brings it back. And then that's what these lanes are for. He'll grab like a, you know, 10, maybe not that many trees, and he'll set them right here. And then this lane right here goes to the loading dock. There's a loading dock down there where there's a dirt road where the trucks were coming in and picking up the logs. So then they have another machine that comes in here and grapples those logs, like 5, 6, 7 at a time, takes them to the loading dock. I'm not sure what they do when they get to the loading dock. There's another machine over there. I don't know if it cuts them up or something, or sorts them. I think it cuts the tops off. And then they're put on the trailer, then they go to the mill, and then, you know, you get your check, you know, how many ever, 2-3 weeks later. So, and they were in and out fairly quick. I think it took them 5 days to do 20 acres, but they were getting stuck a lot. It was wet. They were getting stuck a lot. You can see here they were having to come up and down this road. And yeah, they got stuck quite a bit, 5 or 6 times a day with the semis coming down that dirt road. So, all right, I got to end this one. Thanks for watching. I guess the next time I'll have anything on timber, it'll be when we're cutting them down. Hopefully that is soon, probably 3 to probably 5 years is what they were kind of recommending. But he said they're really big enough to go now whenever we're ready. So, you know, unfortunately it'll be, you know, if you wait 5 years, you know, they're not growing enough, in my opinion, per, you know, gross like money per acre. They're not growing enough to keep them out here. You know, kind of trying to talk my mom into, and I was trying to kind of talk her into cutting them all, but she didn't want to do that. They're not growing enough, I don't think, at this point to warrant keeping them out here for, you know, another 5 years. But anyways, you're talking about 5 years until we cut them, and then over here another 5 years until the stumps are rotten enough to come through. And basically what I'm hearing is you're talking about $200 an acre compared to $1,500 an acre, where if you went into fresh stumps versus stuff like that on clearing it out. So probably better to wait. So you're talking about 10 years until I could drop a seed in this dirt. That's frustrating. That's 50 years that these trees would have been here, from the last time a crop has been on them until now. So I'm ready to see. I'm gonna run it both ways, whether you do it with the fresh stumps or the rotten stumps. But I'm ready to figure out, did these trees make any money, how much money it made. You average it out per year, see if it was any better than farming it. I would be very interested to see. So if you guys ever wondered, that's what's going on there. Just figured I'd make a video on it. It's just getting really long. All right, I gotta go put out a bale. Thanks for watching. Take care.